In this video, you're going to practice your listening with a real story. But you won't just listen, you will have a clear task to complete while you listen. Before we start, read the questions so that you know what information to listen for. Then listen carefully to the story and try to answer the questions. Focus on the most important parts of the story and don't worry if you can't understand every word. You can always go back and listen again a second time. This practice is going to help you feel more confident listening to English in real life situations. So if you're ready, let's get started. Read the questions for part 1 of the story. Now listen to the story and answer the questions.
Sophie had planned a quiet evening at home after a long and exhausting day at work. She made herself a cup of tea, changed into comfortable clothes, and sat down on the sofa with her phone. The flat was calm and warm, and outside the street seemed unusually quiet. There were no loud cars, no people talking, just a soft silence that made everything feel peaceful. She spent a few minutes scrolling through her messages, replying to a couple of friends and ignoring others. It was nothing unusual, just the normal end to a normal day. At around 9 o'clock, her phone buzzed with a new notification. She glanced down at the screen and saw a message from a number she didn't recognize. At first, she didn't open it. She often received random messages, and they were usually unimportant. But after a few seconds, curiosity made her pick up the phone again. She opened the message slowly, not expecting anything interesting. The message was short and simple. It said, "Are you at home right now?" Sophie looked at the screen for a moment, confused. It was a strange question, especially from someone she didn't know. There was no name, no explanation, and no reason for the message. She checked the number again, hoping it might look familiar, but it didn't. She placed her phone on the table and looked around her flat. Everything was exactly as it should be. The door was locked, the windows were closed, and there was no noise coming from outside. For a moment, she told herself it was nothing and tried to ignore it. Then her phone buzzed again. This time, the message was more direct. "I think you should check your door." A small feeling of discomfort began to grow in her chest. It wasn't panic, not yet, but something didn't feel right. She stood up slowly and walked towards the door, her steps careful and quiet. When she reached it, she stopped and listened. There was nothing. No movement, no voices, no sound at all. The silence felt heavy, almost unnatural. She leaned slightly closer to the door, as if that would help her hear something more. Still nothing. After a few seconds, she stepped back and let out a quiet breath. "This is ridiculous," she thought. "It's probably just someone sending strange messages for no reason." She returned to the sofa, but the calm feeling from earlier had disappeared. She picked up her phone again, her movements slower now, more cautious. Another message appeared. "I'm serious." Sophie hesitated before reacting. Her heart was beating faster now, even though she still didn't understand what was happening. She typed a reply carefully. "Who is this?" She stared at the screen, waiting for an answer. A few seconds passed, then a minute, but nothing came. The silence felt different now, heavier, more noticeable. She looked back at the door again. It hadn't changed. It was still closed, still quiet, still completely normal. But the feeling in her chest told her something wasn't right. For a moment, she thought about opening the door quickly, just to prove that there was nothing there. but she couldn't make herself do it. Something stopped her, something she couldn't explain. Instead, she locked her phone and sat very still, listening to the quiet around her, trying to understand why everything suddenly felt so different.
Okay, that was part 1 of the story. Before we listen to part 2, let's check your answers. Number 1. Sophie was at home, sitting on her sofa, relaxing after work. You could also say she was playing on her phone. Number 2. The first message asked if she was at home. Number 3. She started to feel uncomfortable because the messages were strange and came from an unknown number. Number 4. The second message told her to check her door. And number 5. No, she didn't open it. Now, let's take a look at the questions for part 2 of the story. Now listen to part 2 and answer the questions.
Sophie tried to calm herself down, but it wasn't easy. The flat felt different now, even though nothing had changed. The same furniture was there, the same soft light, the same quiet street outside, but the silence no longer felt peaceful, it felt tense. She kept looking at the door, as if expecting something to happen, and her phone was still in her hand as she checked it again, hoping for another message that might explain everything. Instead, her phone suddenly rang, and the number was the same. She hesitated for a moment before answering, her hand slightly cold as she brought the phone to her ear. "Hello?" There was a short pause before a voice spoke, quiet and serious, telling her not to open the door. Sophie froze completely, not moving, not breathing properly, not even looking away from the door. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice lower now. The person continued speaking, explaining that they lived across the street and could see her building from their window. Sophie's stomach tightened as she listened. The voice told her there was someone outside her flat, someone who had been standing there for a while. A sudden wave of fear moved through her as her eyes slowly returned to the door, as if she might somehow see through it. "What do you mean, someone?" she asked. The voice replied that the person wasn't moving, that they were just standing there, very still. Sophie swallowed and took a slow step towards the door, each movement careful and controlled, as if making too much noise would change something. She leaned forward and looked through the peephole. At first, she couldn't see clearly. The hallway was dark, and her eyes needed a moment to adjust. But then she noticed something. A shadow. Someone was standing just to the side of the door, close enough that she couldn't see their face. She stepped back immediately, her breathing faster now. "There's someone there," she whispered. "I know," the voice replied calmly, telling her to stay inside and that they were calling the police. Sophie moved away from the door and stood in the middle of the room. She didn't sit down, she didn't turn on more lights, she just stood there, holding her phone tightly. Time passed slowly, every second feeling longer than usual, as she listened for movement, for footsteps, for anything at all. But there was nothing. Then, in the distance, she heard something. Sirens. The sound grew louder, and Sophie stayed completely still as she listened. After a moment, she slowly walked back to the door and looked through the peephole again. The shadow was gone.
Great. Now let's check your answers for part 2. Question 6. It was the same unknown person who called her. Number 7. The caller was across the street, watching her building. Number 8. There was someone standing outside her door. Number 9. When Sophie looked through the peephole, she saw a shadow, someone standing very still. And number 10, at the end, the police arrived and the person disappeared. Now, if that felt difficult, that's completely normal. If you got most or all of the answers correct, well done. If not, and it felt a little difficult, don't worry. Listening takes time to improve. I recommend listening again and seeing if you can understand some more details the second time. And if you would like to continue practicing your English with another video like this one, then why not check out this video next?